In this video, we are going to talk about Toshi, some of its recent price action, the important support and resistance areas, and where we can expect the price of Toshi to go in the next few days and weeks. So we will be looking at the weekly chart, and what we can see here is that since late 2025, Toshi has been continuously dumping, basically with no rallies whatsoever. There are no major rallies for Toshi since late 2025, and during that time, Toshi dropped about 90% in less than a year. Toshi dropped down below every single support area it had very quickly, and it is continuing to create new all-time lows. It recently broke down into another new all-time low just in the last few days, and it also broke down below this crucial support area that it had, that was this trend line. In the last couple of weeks, we've seen Toshi get some very small rallies back up to the trend line and then get rejected off of it once again, and it is now continuing to dump further and further. Really, Toshi is looking like one of the absolutely weakest altcoins across the entire crypto market. It is very typical for us to see small market cap meme coins perform very poorly in bear markets, since meme coins rely a lot on hype, and usually these communities behind those meme coins lose a lot of their hype during bear markets. But really, even considering that, Toshi is performing incredibly poorly. Also guys, if you are enjoying these videos and you want more updates about Toshi as well as other meme coins and the entire crypto market in general, make sure to subscribe. If you are getting any value from these updates and you want to see more of them, hit that subscribe button. It allows me to continue making these videos and it helps the channel way more than you know. So now back into the analysis of Toshi. As I mentioned before, Toshi recently got a bit of a rally back up to the trend line. It even briefly crossed above it, but then very quickly got rejected back down, and really it has no major support areas left. If we zoom in on the last couple of months only, we do have a trend line forming right here. So we could say that the next support area is this trend line. So Toshi does have a bit more room to dump down to this trend line. Also, there is this support area from this low from back in June. Toshi is currently at that same level again, and it is currently trying to hold on to it. Really, there isn't that much movement by Toshi in the last few weeks. So we have this resistance area at around 0.00014, and we also have this support area at 0.0001, and then we have the next support area, which is the trend line, which is currently at around 0.00009. So it seems to me like Toshi is probably going to be ranging between those levels, which is a pretty small range considering how small of a market cap Toshi has. It is not actually that significant in the grand scheme of things for Toshi to have these movements, although these are movements of tens of percentages, but we have seen Toshi have much larger moves in the past in just a few weeks. In general, Toshi is still looking incredibly weak. It is very clearly in a downtrend both in the long term and in the short term, and despite it having some support areas left, they are very weak, and Toshi is basically at its all-time low, and it is really not looking great at all for Toshi in the long term. In the short term, the best case scenario is for Toshi to get a rally from this support area right away, perhaps get all the way back up to the trend line. This would be a rally of 20 to 30%, which again sounds very significant, but really in the grand scheme of things, for a coin as volatile as Toshi, it's really not that significant. It could happen in just a few days really, and in the long term I think that Toshi will most likely continue to dump further, whether it is from here right away or if it first goes up to the trend line and then continues to dump from there. Also in general, I'm quite pessimistic about the altcoin market as a whole at the moment. I think that since we are still most likely in a bear market, most altcoins will continue to dump further. Historically, in bear markets, altcoins tend to significantly underperform Bitcoin. Of course, there can be some exceptions, but I don't really see a reason why Toshi would be one of them. I think that it's actually quite likely for Toshi to continue to be one of the worst performing altcoins across the entire market. And even with Bitcoin specifically, although I do think that a bit of a relief rally is possible for Bitcoin in the coming weeks for it to go up to 70k or so, I do think that in the long term, in the next few months, I would expect Bitcoin to probably continue to dump further, probably head down below 60k and create new lows for this bear market. I think that we are still most likely in a bear market, as I said, and that Bitcoin will continue to dump further in the next few months. Bitcoin is still very clearly in a downtrend despite some of the recent rallies in 2026, and as Bitcoin continues to dump further, which I think that it most likely will, as I said, Toshi will most likely continue to dump even more, as well as most of the crypto market. So at the moment, I would avoid being heavy into altcoins. Of course, this isn't financial advice whatsoever, but I don't think that it would be very wise to be heavy into altcoins, and I would mostly stick into Bitcoin and maybe some Ethereum. I would only consider being into some altcoins very selectively in pretty small amounts, and I don't really see a reason why Toshi would be one of them. I would be very cautious with altcoins in general, and as I said many times already, Toshi is looking very bad. It is one of the absolutely weakest altcoins across the entire market, and it has been performing very poorly for a while now, and it continues to look bad in the short and long term. If Bitcoin does get a bit of a relief rally in the next few weeks, as I said, up to 70k, it is possible for Toshi to get some support back up to the trend line again, which as I said would be a rally of about 25% or so. But until Toshi crosses above this previous high at around 0.00015 and closes a weekly candle above it, I will continue to be pessimistic about Toshi, and right now I really can't say that there is any positive sign for it. So hey guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it and you want more updates about Toshi as well as other meme coins and altcoins and the crypto market in general, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.